Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing you a tried and tested way to create a very simple photography business plan. Now, business plans can be really boring, and they don't need to be. It takes all the fun and enjoyment out of why you started a business in the first place, but they are really important if you want to grow your business in a particular direction and scale it to be able to achieve your goals. Because ultimately, if you're not measuring your business growth, then you have no idea whether or not you're on the right path, if you're growing at the right speed, or how to even get to that next level without breaking it down. I like to think of it a lot more like a roadmap. So you know where your destination is, or if you don't, you would write down where your destination is, and that's ultimately the goal you're trying to achieve, and then backwards engineer it. Take the roadmap and work out, well, in order to achieve this, what would I need to do along the way to do that? And in essence, going from where you are now to your goal, and that journey is what your business plan is. Now, don't worry, I'm not just going to leave you with that and wrap up the video right now. I'm going to give you a little bit more information and a couple of things that you should include in your business plan to make sure that you get the most out of it. Now, it's always really nice to start with the end in mind. So if you start with your goal on a piece of paper, that is the mission. That is what it is that you're trying to achieve as a business. Whether that's a short-term goal or perhaps that's the end goal for you. And then underneath it, you can also list a couple of shorter-term goals. So for instance, your goal might be to turn over $1 million for your business. That's fine, but in order to make $1 million, you need to have made at least 100,000. And if you're not there yet and you're just starting out, work out how long it would take you to roughly get to that point. And if you're going, well, Ross, I've just started out, I don't know, then you can start to think about, okay, well, how much do I think that I'll make in the next 6 months? And then times that by 2, that will give you a rough idea of how much you're going to make in a year, at least what you're proposing you will do. And then you can times that amount of years by X to achieve those goals. And that's a very simple way of breaking it down. Now, of course, you would expect your business to grow a little bit more year on year as your portfolio and the market and the industries get better along with your camera equipment and growing. But that's just a nice place to start, because that's one of the questions I get asked the most is, well, how do you know what is an unreasonable goal and what is reasonable? And that generally will come through experience. So I don't expect for someone who's making a business plan for their photography business for the first time now, for that to be the same business plan that they use forever. I expect you to almost every 3 months to 6 months keep going back to it and updating it, because there'll be shifts within your business. All of a sudden your dream client might come along now, and then therefore you accelerates you further forward. Or you actually decide that your passions lie within a different industry that you never thought would happen beforehand. And as a result, you're getting a lot more clients on that side of your business, and you're taking photos, let's say in helicopters, and you never thought that would happen, but now that's the route that your business is going down. So you might want to consider refreshing and bringing up a new business plan. Now, in line with the boring stuff, writing down, okay, how I'm gonna get there, here are my targets, this is how much I'm gonna charge each day, and all of those things, I really like to include a list under opportunities, strengths, and weaknesses. So list out what opportunities face you right now. Even if you're living at home, that's a huge opportunity, because chances are you're not paying very much to live there, or maybe next to nothing, so you don't have overheads to worry about. You could almost give this a try, and if it all goes wrong, you hit the reset button and you'll be not that much worse off than if someone has lots of overheads. So what opportunities do you have? Perhaps you've just met someone and they're going to book you for an event photography shoot, let's say. Now, that's a huge opportunity, and that might be an area that you're interested in. So when you list these things down, you can then take factors like that and think, well, how can I get the most out of that opportunity that currently faces me? Next up is obviously strength. So what are you good at? Are you really good at getting out of bed on time and starting work on your business? Or are you perhaps just really good with a camera? Is your equipment a really good strength? Is that a really good thing to your business that means that it's supported and you've got a bit of future proof in there as well? Now, moving on to weaknesses, and it's really good to highlight this, and actually in my opinion it's something that people don't do very well. They don't really self-analyze what they're capable of doing and where their shortfalls are. If you don't know where your shortfalls are, then you really need to start thinking about it, because everyone has them. I've got loads, and until you work out what they are, you can't help yourself to get better in those areas, or enlist the help of people that are better than you in those particular areas. So what weaknesses, what kind of things, you know, we just spoke about getting out of bed on time. If you really struggle to get out of bed before 10 a.m, then perhaps, okay, is there some kind of structure that you can work on with that? Perhaps getting up half an hour earlier every day for a couple of weeks so that you slowly get back into that rhythm. Or perhaps I don't know, there could be lots of different bits. I could sit here all day, and I'm sure you get the point of this now. So covering your opportunities, your strengths, and your weaknesses is a really nice way to understand more about you and therefore where the business is also going. And finally, a really nice thing to include is understanding the sales process and systems within your business. We call this the customer journey. Now, what actually happens, a lot of people take for granted, but if you can understand that from kind of a mechanical level of, for instance, you outreach to client says yes, you do X, Y, Z, they do X, Y, Z. And if you can map that out and almost engineer it, it makes it really easy to copy and paste. Whereas a lot of people just take it as, this process happens naturally. And as a result, it's a very, let's say, a strategy based around hope. They hope that this will also always follow the same thing. Whereas I much prefer to be meticulous about exactly how these opportunities come to face us. Now, all of this is preparation. Preparation and opportunity, when they meet, gives you success. So we're putting in the preparation now, we're creating more opportunities as a result, because once we understand that customer journey, it's easy to copy and paste and do that for different industries, and therefore you have more chance of success. So think about if you've got any clients at the moment, think about how they came around, or if you're starting out, think about how you would get another client. Now, I have done videos on this channel before about how to get clients, so I suggest having a look at some of those if you are just starting out, but think about what do you actually do? What is the process in that sales bit? And then when it hands over to the photography side, what is the process from there? You take the photos, you send them back for them to pick their favorite, let's say. You then edit them, you send them over. What happens with the rest? And if you can kind of structure that a little bit more, it then also helps you to grow your business, because you can say, well, let's take this year one. Year one, we use this process, okay? So we might do one shoot day and one edit day plus some amendments, and we're charging this much. By year two, we want to be charging this much. But in order to raise our prices, our quality of work needs to get better. And so on and so forth. So you can say, well, by year three, we want to be charging this much, but we actually want to be doing less work, or we want to charge the same in year three, but actually we want to do 2 days editing. So therefore it's going to add on more cost per client. And that's another growth strategy to grow your business. So start to think about finances once you've worked this all out of your customer journey, of where can you increase the client's value and where can you perhaps charge more to increase that overall spend. Then, before I lose you guys, the one final tip is to write down all the months, January to December, and take this 1 year. Don't look too far ahead. You've now got your plans of where you need to get to in order to grow your business. But now we need to think about, okay, let's say now is January or whatever month you're in. 12 months from now, how are we going to hit this target? And backwards engineer it. Well, in order to do that, I need to get my website updated. Okay, month one, update website. Well, I then need to outreach to some clients with my shiny new website. Okay, month two, outreach to 500 clients. Month three, networking, pitching for work, whatever it is, networking events, opportunities, all of these things. Start to break it down month by month, and you can then keep yourself accountable, and you have something that you can actually look on and say, well, at the end of the year, if you haven't done half of those things and you aren't hitting your goal, then you know exactly why. It's because you haven't done the things you set out to do. Now, if you've done all of those things and then you're able to hit your goal, then do exactly the same for next year too. And that's this very simple business plan that I use for all of my businesses. I try to make it as simple as possible. It doesn't need to be long and wordy and lots of boring stuff. Just make it very easy to understand. So you've got your goal, you've got your customer journey, your processes, you've also got some future projections, what you would like to reach in terms of finances or clients and understanding who they are. And then finally, now you just need a year plan. What are you doing every single month to ensure you're holding yourselves accountable? If you guys have found this video useful, please do hit that subscribe button. At absolute worst, you can just unsubscribe later, but it costs you nothing to hit it in the first place, and it would mean a lot to me. It lets me know you guys are enjoying the videos, and therefore we will create more and more of them for you. Let me know if there's anything particularly you would like to see in the comments. I reply to absolutely everyone. And until next time, peace.